For decades, science fiction has promised us a specific vision of lunar life, a single, glowing glass dome standing out against the dark regolith. But NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman has officially moved to abandon that centralized concept. The lunar South Pole is an environment of brutal thermal gradients. In the sunlight, the surface reaches 250 degrees Fahrenheit. In the shadows, it plunges to -400. A single monolithic habitat cannot withstand those simultaneous extremes without structural failure. Then there is the mechanics of landing. Massive rockets kick up high-velocity dust called ejecta, which acts like a sandblaster, threatening to shred any structure in the immediate vicinity. Even the power source dictates the layout. The planned nuclear grid requires a significant safety buffer to protect the crew from radiation. These environmental and mechanical hazards make a centralized base impossible. To survive, the settlement has to be a wide, decentralized sprawl. The official plan from NASA's chief architect reveals the scale. This new outpost will cover hundreds of square miles of the lunar surface. Habitats will be isolated on sunlit ridges, while landing pads and nuclear power systems are relegated to distinct zones kilometers away. Building this requires a new way of thinking. Humanity has to map, connect, and navigate this massive footprint before the first permanent residents ever arrive. Construction begins with data. NASA needs to map the thermal gradients of the craters at a centimeter-scale resolution before landing expensive hardware. To do that, a swarm of Moonfall drones will be delivered to lunar orbit by a Firefly carrier spacecraft. These hopping drones will scatter to the outer edges of the designated base zone, establishing an initial scouting network. Designed to survive the 14-day lunar night, they take their positions, becoming permanent navigation beacons and the moon's first robotic cell towers. By deploying this swarm first, NASA creates the digital perimeter necessary to guide heavy, complex equipment down to the surface safely. During the 1970s, astronauts relied on fragile rovers for short-range exploration, but a sprawling city requires a much more robust transport system. The next generation of lunar terrain vehicles, built by Astrolab and Lunar Outpost, are one-ton autonomous transformers designed for long-haul logistics. To protect the base from the destructive dust of arriving spacecraft, NASA requires a 2-kilometer safety buffer between landing sites and human habitats. The LTVs bridge that gap. They function as autonomous shuttles, driving across the dead space to ferry astronauts and offload cargo. These vehicles have a 200-kilometer total lifespan, allowing them to easily operate year-round across the sprawling city limits. These rovers are the connective tissue, linking distant, isolated outposts into a single, functioning urban network. Constructing a city at this scale doesn't happen with a single massive launch. Instead, NASA is using the CLPS program to return to an iterative playbook, testing hardware through frequent, rapid missions. Commercial partners like Blue Origin and Robotic will deliver modular payloads piece by piece, solar grids, science packages, and logistics modules, populating distinct zones over several years. This modular approach ensures the city grows sustainably. By building the base across hundreds of square miles piece by piece, NASA avoids risking the entire mission on a single point of failure. Breaking the base into modular, outsourced components is a calculated economic strategy. NASA is using these contracts to act as a primary customer, creating a demand signal for lunar hardware. By paying private companies to build and own the rovers and landers, the agency is jump-starting a market. The goal is for NASA to eventually become just one of many customers. Once private companies own the infrastructure, the lunar economy can function independently, moving beyond the limitations of taxpayer funding alone. Administrator Isaacman describes this endeavor as a masterclass in the science of survival. Solving these complex logistics is far safer on the moon, where Earth is only a 4-day rescue mission away. But the sprawl is ultimately a blueprint for humanity's next planetary leap. NASA is prototyping the exact architectural, commercial, and logistical framework required to survive and eventually plant a flag on Mars.